Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to the Lucifer Podcast, and I got sad news. Well, it's not sad news. It's just news in general, okay? Because I'm practicing and trying to be better and practicing Ramadan this year once again. The co-host is here. He's here, but he cannot contribute to this episode, okay? Because not only am I fasting, but I'm not supposed to be drinking any alcohol neither. So even if I wasn't fasting, I wasn't going to be able to let my man in on the show. And I got this juice here to substitute for my alcohol consumption, but I forgot about fasting. So, yep, I had to cancel that guest too. And I paid for him to be here today, and I had to cancel him. But, it is what it is. And I'm here, and I didn't have to cancel the mic. I don't know why I didn't bring the mic over. So, yeah. So the mic's there. I didn't have to cancel the mic. I don't know why I didn't have the mic in place. I wasn't ready. But the mic's there. Another thing I have to forewarn you. Okay. I know y'all here for the antics. I know y'all here for the cussing. I know some of y'all here for the cussing, y'all heathens out there. I know you're here for the cussing. But there's not going to be cussing. If there is going to be cussing, it's going to be a limited amount. And Lord knows I didn't mean it. But I'm going to try my best today to not say any cuss words, even though this particular person that I'm talking about has had me cuss a whole bunch of times. Like I spent the whole career cussing out his career. If that makes sense. Hey, over there, my business. Anyway, so my episode today is called The Other One. And by the other one, I mean the other Manning. Because we all know who the Manning is, okay? When it comes to football, we all know who's the Manning is. When you say Manning, you're talking about my man Peyton Manning. That's who you're talking about. That's who you're referring to. That's who's making the quarterback GOAT list. That's who's top 5 dead or alive. You know what I'm saying? That's who you want. That is Peyton Manning. You ain't talking about Archie, because nobody even really knows about Archie, not in my age group anyway. And you're damn sure, you're darn tootin'. You're darn tootin', shooting for looting. Sure that you was not in any way whatsoever referring to Eli Manning. Now, first off, let me just say this. Eli Manning has had the delusions of grandeur before he has given all of his fans that same delusion of grandeur, okay? Remember, Eli Manning coming out of college was all like, I'm not playing for this team. And he maneuvered and finagled his way into New York City. Remember that? And I was just like, who is this dude? Who does he think he is? And maybe because Peyton Manning, the real Manning, was in the NFL doing his thing. Maybe Eli everybody thought that he was going to be him. And so he thought that he had the right to maneuver and juck and jive and do all the bull crap and all the stuff that he did to get himself to the New York City Football Giants. And it worked out. He went to the Giants. Phillip Rivers went to the Chargers. Roethlisberger ended up in Pittsburgh. It worked out for Eli. He got his main wish to be in New York City, right? But now I'm starting to think that he went to the Giants because the Giants is owned by the same people that own like the Raiders, the Rooney Mara family, and they not too keen on firing folks. Like they don't fire people. You know what I mean? They have long-term coaches. They usually stick with their guys, and it's New York. And I thought that Eli was really prepping himself to be that dude. You know what I mean? Peyton was playing in Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying? Peyton was playing in a small market for the Colts. And even though he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league, even though Peyton Manning is my GOAT, I don't care about Brady's 7, Super Bowl rings. Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen play a game of football. My GOAT. But he was playing in a small market. And I thought that Eli thought that he was going to be that dude. He was going to be Peyton. He was going to be the other man. And he was going to outshine his brother because he was going to New York City. And New York City was going to outshine Indianapolis. And I always thought I couldn't wait. I wanted to see Eli in New York versus Peyton in Indianapolis in the Super Bowl. Brother versus brother in the Super Bowl. Ooh, I was like, yeah, here we go. Brother versus brother in the Super Bowl. Eli versus Peyton. It was going to be way more exciting than that Tiki Barber versus Rondé. I didn't care about Tiki Barber versus Rondé. I didn't want that. I wanted Peyton Manning versus Eli. And then Eli started playing. And I was like, he don't look like Peyton. Did he? Did he ever? And any time that Eli ever looked like Peyton Manning, and any time that Eli ever looked like he was going to be better than Peyton Manning, at any time, did you think like, hold on, is Eli adopted? Because I did. I was like, wait, Arch, did you adopt Eli? Is he his real brother? Is that the same blood? Is the blood flowing? Because something ain't right. Something ain't matching up. This Eli does not look like his brother. And I'm talking about on the football field. I'm talking about the gameplay didn't match up. And I was like, oh, wait. He did all this to come to New York? Because you do know that if you're in New York, you got this level of stardom. You got this level of star power. You got this level of popularity. You got this big thing you can meet, but you also have a thing to live up to. You got to live up to that New York City standard. You got to live up to that limelight. And Eli, for me, wasn't living up to that limelight. I did not foresee that he would spend 16 years in a New York City football giant uniform. I said, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way Eli's going to be going. He's going to request. I thought he was going to request a trade. I thought Eli Manning at a certain point was going to be like, get me out of New York. I can't do it here because the scrutiny, the criticism, and everything that was about to happen to that man, I thought it was going to take him down. And I will attest to this. Eli has a mental fortitude like nobody else's business because the way he was playing in New York City, the way Eli Manning was playing in New York City, I was like, oh, no. You know what I mean? Like, he's done. He's going to be done. It's done a roosky, done a roast. Now, first of all, I will attest to the fact that Eli was an iron man. Like the first thing about the best ability is availability. They say that all the time, and that's why Eli was able to be a franchise quarterback because they can count on him to be at least on the field. Now, what he did on the field, I was like, I don't want that. But at least you can count on him to at least be on that field. I mean, Eli played a whole bunch of games straight without ever missing a game. So he had the availability. And so that's what I'm saying, though. His numbers are also tainted because, yeah, he's got a lot of numbers. But a lot of his stats are just based on him being on the field. A lot of his stats and where he is in the stat thing, it's like when you play 10 years or whatever in the NFL and you ain't never missed a game, and how many years he never missed a game, no matter if you garbage, you're still going to have some stats. His stat line, as far as like rankings of stats, is going to be up there. You know what I'm saying? So Eli did a good job at the stats or whatever like that. You know what I mean? But that it was tainted stats. It was like, okay, he played 152 straight games. So, even if he sprinkle in some terrible ones and sprinkle in some good ones, the stats is going to look steady. The stats looking steady, right? But in reality, though, Eli wasn't that good. Okay, so let me start with this. My man's record, 16 years in the NFL. My man does not have a winning record. He doesn't have a losing record even now. Don't get me wrong. He don't have a losing record. My man is exactly at 500. He's won 117 games. He's lost 117 games. That's not impressive. That's not impressive. A 500 win-loss is not impressive. That's first of all. So when you want to talk about top 5 dead or alive, when you want to put him Eli Manning in the quarterback rankings, the high upper echelon of quarterbacks, his win-loss record is not impressive. Okay? It's just not. Then you want to talk about Super Bowls? Yeah, he has 2 Super Bowls, okay? Eli Manning has won 2 Super Bowls, and everybody wants to be like, oh, 2 Super Bowls. Clap it up. 2 championships for Eli Manning, right? 2 championships. Now, here's what my brother, Joe Doe. He was able to manage games. I don't want my quarterback to manage games. I don't want a game manager. I want somebody that I can go. You think that Andy Reid, okay, let's just look at this. Since he wants to bring up game managing quarterbacks, right? There were times when the New England Patriots were out there and they were losing and they were getting beat up. Let's look at the Falcon Super Bowl. The Falcon Super Bowl, when the Patriots were getting destroyed, they were getting killed. They were done and roasted. We thought the Falcons wiped them out. We thought this was the worst Super Bowl performance ever. The Falcons going to win the Super Bowl, right? Do you think Bill Belichick would have won that Super Bowl with Eli Manning? Do you think Bill Belichick would have won that Super Bowl if he went out there and said, Eli, you got to manage the game? You know what I mean? Game manager? No, absolutely not. At that point, Bill Belichick had to go out there, go over to Tom Terrific, go over to his man, Tom Terrific, and go, hey, Tom, you better do something, my man. The defense ain't working. The offense ain't working. I don't know what to do, Tom. It's on you. There's a time when the coach has to go to the quarterback and say, hey, win this job. You know what I'm saying? Win this job. I don't want no game managing quarterback. I don't feel like I can manage a game. Okay. I feel like if you gave me a game plan, me, Tyrone, I'm strong. I'm not fine I used to be, but I can throw a football. Don't get it messed up. I can throw a football. I can run. I ain't taking no hits now. If I get hit one time, I'm out the game. I ain't playing. If Nick Bosa, if any Bosa hits this body, I'm not playing no more football. I'm going home if a Bosa hits this body, okay? I'm going home. But if you gave me a game plan and you said, Tyrone, just manage the game. Try not to throw interceptions. Use your check downs. This is the passes that we want to throw. This is the scheme we want to play, blah, blah, blah. I think I can do that. And for these people that sitting up here going, oh, Eli was a game manager. Oh, yeah, he was managing games because it looks like he was losing games to me. Because you remember, Eli was throwing those interceptions. A game manager don't throw no damn interceptions. A game manager means manage the game, means don't do too much. Don't throw in the double coverage. Use your check downs. If we got to punt, we got to punt. We can rely on the defense, manage the game. Eli didn't do that. Eli thought he was his brother. Like I said, he's the other one. He thought he was the one. Eli threw a bunch of interceptions thinking that he could do what he couldn't do. Okay? He thought he was Brett Favre. Brett Favre threw a lot of interceptions being Brett Favre. So Eli, if you're not even Brett Favre, why are you throwing them passes out? Why are you trying to be Brett Favre when Brett Favre threw interceptions being Brett Favre? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So yeah, get that game manager. Come again, Joseph. Come again, my brother, because that game manager crap, that's bull crap. That's bad. That ain't good. And here's the other thing. So now let me go back. Eli won 2 Super Bowls. People give him credit for that. They clap it up. Pump it up. 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowl champions. Well, guess what? Doug Williams won a Super Bowl. So Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. You see what I'm going here? See what I'm doing? So there are circumstances where a terrible quarterback can mess around and get one of those. So now, you know what I mean? A bad quarterback can mess around and get one in the right opportunity on the right team. Nick Foles caught that lightning in the bottle. Is we calling Nick Foles top 5 did alive? We calling him Nick Foles. Is Nicky Foles going into the Hall of Fame? Is Doug Williams going into the Hall of Fame? You know what I mean? Is Trent Dilfer going into the Hall of Fame? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, we've got quarterbacks that messed around, got lucky, caught some lightning in the bottle, and won some Super Bowls, right? So that's one. So now we take one away from Eli, and I'll give him one. I'll give him one. I'll give him the one. I'll credit him with one Super Bowl. The other Super Bowl was a mess around, find out Super Bowl. Okay, that's it. Number 2 is this. Winning Super Bowls does not necessarily mean that you're better than your counterparts. Case in point, I believe that Peyton Manning is the best quarterback to ever play NFL football. I believe he's better than Brady. I believe he's better than everyone. And people go, Brady, Tom Terrific won 7 Super Bowls. And yeah, Tom is terrific. But Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. Are you telling me that Eli Manning is better than Warren Moon? Are you telling me that Eli Manning is better than Dan Marino? Are you telling me that Eli Manning is better than Jim Kelly? Are you telling me he's better than Brett Favre? Are you telling me that he's equal to John Elway? Are you telling me that he's equal to his own brother, Peyton Manning? That's what you're saying? Because if those 2 Super Bowls mean something, then that's what they mean. That's what they mean. He's got to be better. If he's got 2 Super Bowls and they mean so much, he's got to be better than all of the quarterbacks that did not win no Super Bowls. And I can argue that he's not better than any of them. I can argue right now that Eli Manning ain't better than Kirk Cousins. I can, prime comparison. Is Eli Manning better than Donovan McNabb? I would. And I don't like McNabb. I'm not a fan of McNabb. I do not like the Eagles. I hate McNabb, and I will never, under no circumstances, consider Donovan McNabb to be a good quarterback. I would never, in no circumstances, put Donovan McNabb in my top 20 ranking. Top 20, Donovan ain't hitting that top 20. Okay. But was he better than Eli? Is Eli Manning better than like a Mike Vick? I would never put Mike Vick in my top 20 either. I don't think Mike Vick was as good as everybody said he was. Mike Vick has delusions of grandeur, and all Mike Vick fans have delusions of grandeur about him. But better than Eli. Drew Bledsoe didn't win the Super Bowls. I can argue that Drew Bledsoe is better than Eli. Phillip Rivers, I can argue, is better than Eli Manning. Okay? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So when all these arguments come out about Eli being a Hall of Famer, when everybody says I'm disrespectful to Eli Manning, I'm like, where? Show me the disrespect. My man is 516 years of NFL career. He has a 500 win-loss record. Okay? Yeah, he was accurate at a point in time. My brother goes, what's Eli Manning's passing completion percentage? Come on, man. Listen. 70% passing completion percentage is decent, right? 65% is kind of like average, right? But 70 is like great. If you get over 70, kind of cool. So yeah, okay, we can say Eli was accurate. We can say that. We can say he was an accurate passer, but that goes back to the game manager thing. I could be accurate too if I'm throwing 5-yard passes, 6-yard passes, you know what I mean? Dinking and ducking and managing games. A game manager is going to be a very accurate quarterback. So I don't know exactly what his career completion percentage is, but even if it is good, that goes back to him being a game manager. A game manager might be a good quarterback. A game manager ain't no great quarterback. Peyton Manning didn't manage games, okay? There were times when Peyton Manning went out and won them jobs. There were times when Tom Brady went out and won them jobs. Patrick Mahomes went out and won them jobs. Even Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger is not a great quarterback as everybody say he is, okay? They have delusions of grandeur about him. But Ben Roethlisberger was a guy that you can say, hey, man, go win this job. Brett Favre, too. Brett Favre was a guy that you could say, hey, man, go win this game. Go win it. Don't manage it. Take it over. You know what I mean? There are quarterbacks that you can say, go take it over. Eli ain't one of them. Eli trying to take over a game is going to get you an interception. That's what's going to happen. If you ever was a coach and you said to Eli, man, you got to go win this thing, he's going to throw an interception. Probably the next 3 plays, Eli's going to throw an interception. You know, everybody that argues goes, Eli wins when it counts. Eli wins when it counts. No, he don't. Eli does not win when it counts, because if Eli won when it counts, he would have had more than 12 playoff games in 16 years. Eli Manning has only played 12 playoff games in 16 seasons in the NFL. And don't go, oh, he played 12 games out of 16 seasons. And if somebody said this dumb, somebody, I'm not going to bring his name up. I'm not here to embarrass folks. But somebody said this. This was the dumbest thing I ever heard. He said, I said, Eli Manning won 12 playoff games for 16 years. And this man said, that's good. That's good. 16 years and he got the 12. No. Nitwit. He won 12 total playoff games in 16 total NFL years. Now, to win a Super Bowl, you got to win 3 to 4 playoff games in one single year. Okay? In one single year, you have to win 3 to 4 playoff games to win a Super Bowl, right? So let's do it with a match. Eli Manning, 2008 they won the Super Bowl, the 2008 Super Bowl, whatever one that first one they won when they beat the Patriots, right? They was the wild card team. So they had to play the wild card weekend. They had to play the divisional round. They had to play the NFC championship game, and they had to play the Super Bowl. So he won 4 Super Bowl games in 1 year. Then the next time that they beat the Patriots, I think it was 0-12 or whatever, once again, wild card team. So, wild card round, divisional, NFC championship game, and once again, Super Bowl. That's 4. So he won 8 out of the 12 Super Bowl games in only 2 of the 16 seasons. So 2 seasons, he went to the playoffs, he won the Super Bowl. That's 8 games. He only played in 12. Okay. And guess what? All the rest of those games, the New York City Giants and Eli Manning was a first game, first round playoff exit. Okay. So in 16 seasons, he went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He went to the playoffs 6 times in 16 seasons, which means he missed the playoffs 10 times. He missed the playoffs 10 seasons of his career. The Giants did not go to the playoffs with Eli Manning as their starting quarterback. And in most of those seasons, because we talked about him being Iron Man, in most of those seasons, he's played every single game. Okay? So there's not no season where the Giants didn't make the playoffs because Eli was injured. There's not no season where the Giants didn't make the playoffs because they lost a get in the playoff game because Eli wasn't able to play. No. Eli played. In every playoff game, 4 straight playoff games in the year that he didn't catch the lightning in the bottle, in the year that he didn't win the Super Bowl, 4 straight playoff games, 4 playoff games, didn't win not one of them. So Eli always comes through when it counts, but there were 4 playoff games that he did not come through, and it counted. And there were countless games throughout NFL seasons because he had 10 seasons where he missed the playoffs. You telling me that during those 10 seasons where Eli was the starting quarterback of the New York City Football Giants and they did not make the playoffs, you telling me that during those 10 seasons there weren't some regular season games that needed to count towards them going to the playoffs that Eli Manning did not win? You telling me that? Because in 10 seasons, if the Giants weren't even good enough to even be in contention for the playoffs, if there wasn't one game here or there that could have swung the playoff pendulum, then Eli was playing terrible the whole time, wasn't he? Eli should have lost his job. He should have been fired. He should have been done. The 2 Super Bowls held him on. I keep holding on. I keep holding on. Bow, bow. You know what I'm saying? So no, Eli had a lot of regular season games where my man did not come through. Did not win the win or get in games, did not look good through that interception, through that pick 6, through the, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? And mind you, with a record of 117 and 117, that goes to show me that there were seasons where they were on the cusp. Okay? Even the seasons that he won the 2 Super Bowls, both of those seasons, the Giants was in a win or get in situation. Now, Eli succeeded in those, but there were others win or get in situations that Eli did not win those games. So he's not clutch. Now, let's talk about those Super Bowls. Let's talk about those Super Bowls because everybody goes, Eli is the 2-time Super Bowl MVP. And I beg to differ. Because the Super Bowl MVP in both of those Super Bowls, in both occasions, Eli does not have not one occasion where he deserved that Super Bowl MVP out of the 2 of them. Eli does not have not one occasion where the statement that I'm about to make is untrue, is false, is not correct. Super Bowl MVPs, both times that Eli Manning won the Super Bowl, was the New York Giants defensive line. The New York Giants defensive line had Tom Brady's number in the first Super Bowl. And in the second Super Bowl, the New York City Giants was playing against a team that had lost a game all season to nobody. Nobody beat the New England Patriots that year. They was 16-0, undefeated, 16-0, and also won 2 playoff games. They came into that Super Bowl winning 18 straight games. How good does a team have to be to win 18 straight games in the NFL? 18 straight wins, no losses. And I ain't talking about easy. I ain't talking about like no bull crap. I'm talking about 35 points per game wins. You know what I mean? They were averaging like in the 30 points per game. They was killing everybody. Randy Moss was over there. Gronkowski was over there. Tom Terrific was in the back. You know what I'm saying? That's the offense that won 18 straight games that was averaging like 35 points per game that was coming into that Super Bowl going, man, these Giants don't stand a chance. And the coach said it. He said, if we can hold the Patriots to 14 points, we probably can win the game. And you know what Tom Brady said when he heard that on the platform, on the podium? It was like this, the coach of the Giants said, if he can hold you guys to 14 points, you win the game. And Tom Brady said, us? Huh? What? Tom Brady laughed. He scoffed at the idea that the New York Giants were going to hold his team to 14 points. He was like, who's covering Randy? I would like to bet on Randy Moss right now getting 14 points by himself. And we still got who's covering Gronk, who's going to cover Gronkowski. We got Gronk, we got Randy, and it's me. I'm Tom Terrific. I'm that dude. We ain't scored 14 points all season. Nobody, including these Giants. We beat them this year during the season. Blowout. But they AFL. Okay? So when you tell me that the Giants went into a game playing a team like that and they win and they hold that team to 14 points, and you want to convince me that the MVP of the game was Eli Manning? No. The only reason in both Super Bowls why Eli Manning won Super Bowl MVP is because they couldn't figure out on the defense who to give it to, and they can't give it to more than one person. So they say, you know what? We're going to give it to the winning quarterback. That's the sexy pick. That's the easy choice. Because if we had to pick between we had to pick Strahan or O.C. Umenyiora or anybody else that was on that, you know what I mean? It was hard. It was like, well, Strahan had 2 sacks. This dude had 2 sacks. This dude had an interception here, there. You know what I mean? Everywhere. It was a lot going on that defense that caused them when they was like, we can't pick one. We got to pick one of these dudes to give it to, and we got to pick a defensive player to win Super Bowl MVP when that ain't sexy. That's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? That's not sexy at all. Picking a defensive player Super Bowl MVP is not a sexy choice to do. The sexy choice would be quarterback. Most of the time, 90% of the time, quarterback. Now, there are times where running back can get it. There are times when maybe a kick return get if he got 2 return touchdowns, Super Bowl, something like that, something crazy. But in order to get Super Bowl MVP, other than the quarterback, you've got to do something outstanding. And the New York City Giants defense holding those New England Patriots to 14 points. Even the other ones back then, even holding them to 14 points. Holding a team that's in the Super Bowl to 14 points is outstanding regardless of who you're playing. A Super Bowl team. A team that's won the playoffs, a team that's made it to the Super Bowl should be able to score more than 14 points no matter what. But when you're talking about a team that has Randy Moss lined up over here, Gronkowski lined up over here, you're talking about a team that has Tom Brady and hiking the ball, and you're talking about a team that has Amendola in the slot. Let's not forget Amendola was in the slot. And Amendola was one of those dudes you could count on. Okay, so now when you talk about a feat of holding that team to 14, and it's a combined effort. You can't pick one guy to be Super Bowl MVP. They should have just said the MVP of these Super Bowls is the New York City Football Giants defense, or at least, you know what? Give it to the defensive coordinator. I would have gave the Super Bowl MVP trophy to the coach. Whoever coached this defense, you're the MVP. You're a real one. You're a real one. That's what I would have gave it to. I would have said, you know what? The most valuable player is not even playing. We're going to give out the Super Bowl MVP, the most valuable coach, because the defense coordinator on this Giants team is the man. He's the man. Because it wasn't Eli. Look at Eli's stats. In the first Super Bowl, Eli was like 19 for 30 for like 250-something yards. 3 touchdowns and an interception, something like that, right? 3 touchdowns and an interception. 3 touchdowns and interception, 255 yards, 55%, 55% completion percentage or something like that, maybe 60%. I don't know. I ain't good at, listen, I'm not a mathematician right now. I mean, I could do the math in my head, but I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. I'm going to say he was like a 55% completion percentage, something like that. 60% maybe. He only completed 19 passes, 200 something yards. He had 3 touchdowns and an interception. Is they decent numbers? Decent? Yeah, they decent. Was they world beating Super Bowl MVP championship? Yeah, he's the man. Numbers? No. He just managed to win that game because the defense played so good that the offense had a lot more opportunities to score, and they wasn't getting beat too bad, and the other team couldn't score. In the second Super Bowl, he played a little better. He had I think 296 yards, almost 300 or something, and he threw 2 touchdowns, no interception. Okay. He threw 2 touchdowns, no interception. So in 2 Super Bowls, he had like a 70% completion percentage, 550 something some odd yards, 550 some odd yards, 5 touchdowns and 1 interception for 2 games. Those numbers is decent. If they world beater numbers, no. If they Super Bowl MVP numbers, no. Absolutely not. So the only thing that y'all holding y'all head on with Eli Manning, the only thing that you Eli Manning fans, you Eli Manning sympathetic people, you Eli Manning people who's arguing with me, the only thing y'all holding y'all head on is the 2 Super Bowl wins where his Super Bowl performances weren't that great. He caught lightning in a bottle. Okay, and the fact that he has like a lot of stats. He's got enough stats to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he played for 16 years and he played for like 10 straight without missing a game. If I played in the NFL for 16 years and played like 10 or 11 straight years without missing one game, my stats would be up there too. I'd have crazy stats. Would I be top 5 dead alive, top 10, top 20? No. Eli Manning ain't top 20 quarterback in NFL history. Not even close to that. I don't even know if I can put him top 25. Maybe in the top 30 somewhere. Maybe in the top 30 somewhere. He was never, ever, ever the best player in the NFL. He was never, ever, ever the best quarterback in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So what are y'all holding your head on stuff that is not that banging? Y'all holding your head on things that are not that good. Y'all said he was clutch. He's not that clutch. Y'all said he was good. He's not that good. Y'all said he wins games when it counts. It's obvious that he didn't. Giants didn't make the playoffs a lot. He lost 4 straight first-round playoff appearances. You know what I mean? Like I said, he caught that Nicky Foles. He caught that lightning in the bottle 2 times, and we rolling with that. Now, does my man deserve to go in the Hall of Fame? It's iffy. It's iffy because it's hard to say that a man that has 2 Super Bowl trophies and 2 Super Bowl MVPs and played for 16 years in the NFL shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. That's hard to say. But does he deserve to be in here? No. Not in my opinion, he don't. Because like I said, Trent Dilfer ain't touching the Hall of Fame. He ain't sniffing it. Nope. Doug Williams ain't sniffing it. Nope. Warren Moon got in without winning any Super Bowls because Warren Moon was that dude. You know what I mean? Jim Kelly got in without winning any Super Bowls. Dan Marino gets in without winning any Super Bowls. Eli Manning definitely does not get in without those Super Bowls. Not even a chance. Not even a chance. The Hall of Fame wouldn't even fart on him if he didn't win those Super Bowls. Now, statistically, does he have a chance? Yeah, his stats have a chance to put him in, but like I said, it's an accumulation. It's not good play. It's not consistent years of excellent quarterback, and it's consistent years of playing football and accumulating stats over time. If you get in a game and you throw for 200 yards, those 200 yards count, you could have been blown out. If you get in a game and you throw 3 touchdowns, those 3 touchdowns count, you could have been blown out. It doesn't say you have to win games. It just says you have to play in them, and it doesn't say that your stats have to be great stats. They just have to be stats. They're numbers. They go in the book. His touchdown to interception ratio is not that great. Okay. So once again, like I said, Eli Manning is the other Manning. And as a matter of fact, he's not even the other Manning. He's not even like, I put his dad before him. I would go Peyton, Archie, then Eli. I don't even think we should be mentioning them in the same sentence for real. If I was Peyton Manning, I would have disowned him. I would have been live on TV. They would have said, what do you think about your brother Eli? Who? I got a brother. That's how I would have been talking about. I got a brother. I didn't know. Eli loves his brother. I love my brother too. Even if my brother was garbage, I would still say I love him. I wouldn't do that to my brother for real, but that's the sentiment. That's how I feel about it. Eli Manning is not a great quarterback. Was he good? Yeah. Decent at times? Yeah. Did he catch lightning in the bottle, win 2 Super Bowls? Yeah. But other than that, what is he? What is he? What is he? You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm going with it. I'm telling you that everyone that defends this man has no defense. You have delusions of grandeur. Now, I've been on record calling Eli garbage. I've been on record calling Eli a bum. I know that's not true. Bum? No. Bum? No. But good? Good is kind of stretching. Now, I call him average. I call him, decent. Decent is not better than good. But I call him decent. But good is a little bit of a stretch. But great Hall of Famer? Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Let me put it to you in perspective. Josh Allen, in 6 years, has won 5 playoff games. Already. He's won 5. Eli's won 8 in 16 seasons. Josh Allen has won 5 in his 6 seasons. He's played in 10. Eli Manning has played in 12 playoff games in 16 seasons. Josh Allen has already played in 10. And if we want to go with Patrick Mahomes blows Eli completely out of the water with playoff appearances, with playoff wins and all that. But I'm going with somebody who ain't won nothing yet, Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, without any Super Bowl wins right now, I can legit say is a better quarterback than Eli Manning right now. And I can legit say that even people in this time frame, like I said, Phillip Rivers was better than Eli Manning. Matthew Stafford was better than Eli Manning. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys. I mean, I'd even say Jared Goff right now. I would say Jared Goff is better than Eli Manning. You know what I mean? Joe Burrow. If you had the draft right now, knowing what you know about these 2 guys, you taking Eli or you taking Joe Burrow? You taking Eli or you taking Lamar Jackson? Who are you taking? Who are you taking? Now, Lamar Jackson might be a little bit of stretch because he's been injured. Matter of fact, Joe Burrow might be a little bit of stretch. They both been injured, but outside of injuries aside, who you taking? Matter of fact, I challenge anyone. And I know you ain't gonna say it now because only 3 people up in here. But when you listen to this back, whoever listens to it, whoever talks to me, whoever knows me, you can go on my TikTok and AM, you can go on my Facebook and AM, anything in AM, you can contact me directly. If you got my phone number, you can call me, whatever. I challenge you to tell me any quarterback during Eli's time in the NFL, 16 years, tell me any quarterback you're taking Eli Manning over. And don't hit me with no crap. It's got to be a legit dude, okay? Don't be texting me going, I would take Eli over Jay Cutler. Like, don't play that game. Do not play that game. I'm talking legit. Don't hit me with, I would take Eli over Colin Kaepernick. Okay, I don't want to hear that. I want you to tell me a legit, decent quarterback that if you were starting a team, you would choose Eli over that dude. And I'll wait. And trust and believe. Some of y'all is really going to try it. I know some of y'all out there is really going to try it. Y'all really going to try to convince me that Eli is better than whatever quarterback y'all send my way. But guess what? I'm going to eat it up. I'm going to put you on blast too. I'm going to say your name. Watch. I'm going to eat it up because ain't no way, bro. There's no way. There's no quarterback during the time frame that Eli came into the league that was decent that you're going to pick Eli Manning over. Injuries aside, because that availability that puts Eli way above a lot of guys. That makes him top notch. Okay, now his ability to take care of his body and avoid injuries, that's top notch. Nobody's better. That's the one thing I will give Eli, is that my man knew how to stay on that field. Even his brother eventually went down to injuries and broke his neck or messed his neck up, had to get a fusion, whatever. That's the only thing Eli got him on. He can say, at least I ain't break my neck, nigga. But look, you know what's funny though? You know what's funny? Eli never got invited to Thanksgiving. Eli never went to Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I mean? He never went to the family Thanksgiving dinner until he won those 2 Super Bowls. Because guess what? At the time that Eli won 2, Peyton only had 1. Peyton didn't win his second Super Bowl yet, right? So now Eli, before when Eli was going to those dinners, everybody was just like, "Hey Peyton, hey Peyton." Eli was sitting at the kids' table. Eli was sitting over there with the kids. Eli only got 1 piece of cornbread. Any more cornbread left? No, Peyton took the pan. You know what I mean? Eli was getting treated like poop at Thanksgiving. He didn't want to go. So he stopped going. Then he won the first Super Bowl when he came in. He was like, "Hey." And they still was like, "Hey, Peyton." Oh, that's not Peyton. Yeah. And now Eli, when he won the first Super Bowl, he did get to sit at the big people table. He did get to sit with the adults, but he better not talk. You can sit at the adult table, Eli, but don't say nothing. Every time Eli opened his mouth, it was Peyton, and Peyton had to shut him up. Peyton Manning was talking about Peyton Manning's commercials more than they were talking about Eli Manning's Super Bowl win after that first. But that second one, Eli had his chest out, didn't he? He showed up at Thanksgiving like, "Who's the man now?" You know what I mean? They still was talking about Peyton. But Eli was like, wait, hold up, wait. You know what I mean? Eli was like, hey, I got 2 of them things. He probably wore his rings at Thanksgiving, then probably put his hand right on the table. He was reaching for the cornbread, knowing he couldn't reach it, but he didn't want nobody to pass it to him because he wanted to stretch his arm out so everybody could see his 2 rings glistening. They was glistening, blinding people at the Thanksgiving table. Eli had his moment. He had his moment, man. I give him that. He did have his moment. He fought back. But yep. After Peyton won that second Super Bowl, they told him Eli didn't even get an invitation. He didn't get a Christmas card, nothing. He was back on the streets. You know what I mean? But no, they a loving family. I see his dad at the games. I see Peyton and Eli doing their little Monday Night Football thing. It's all cool. They got that brother thing going on, and they tease each other. It's fun. It's fun and dandy. I'm not commenting on their family dynamic for real. I'm talking about how I would be though. That's how I would be at Thanksgiving. If my little brother, we played the same sport, and I was killing it, and he was willing it. Because that's what Eli was doing. Eli was trying to will his wins, and Peyton was killing it. Eli was willing it. So if I was killing it, my little brother was willing it. Oh man, he don't want to come Thanksgiving dinner. He don't want to come Thanksgiving dinner. I have my stat sheet on the table. The tablecloth would be made with my stats on it. That's the level of hate I would go to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You gotta son him up. You gotta son him up, man. But if I was the little brother, if I was the other brother. If I was Eli and I was the other one and I won 2 Super Bowls, then I would put my rings in the mashed potatoes, bro. That's how bad I'm going to let these motherfuckers know. My rings would be in the mashed potatoes. Somebody would get a scoop of mashed potatoes, start eating. What is this? Oh, man, that's my Super Bowl ring. Get that back. That's over here. You know what I mean? Well, when they put the stuffing in the turkey, my Super Bowl ring would be there. My 2 Super Bowl MVP trophies would be stuffed in that turkey. They be like, "Get some stuffing out." They pull out my. What's that? Oh, that's my Super Bowl MVP. I got 2 of those now. There's another one around here somewhere. Peyton, how many you got, brother? Yeah, you know, that's how Thanksgiving would go. I'm telling you right now. But I digress on that. Now, here's the other thing too. So you got Eli Manning, and you got where would y'all rank him? Is he top? I'm going to say, is Eli top 30? I'm going to say top 30 quarterbacks in NFL history. Does Eli break the top 30? That's a lot now. Think about it. 30. I'm giving y'all 30 chances. Because I feel like in my head, I can name 30 quarterbacks that I believe is better than Eli Manning. 30 of them in NFL history. I think that even just in my history of being alive, I'm not going to go on people I ain't see play. So I'm saying I think that I have seen with my own 2 eyes and watched football games where I have seen 30 quarterbacks that I can say over all time is better than Eli Manning. So how many you got? And with that, I'm in this episode. You see, Eli is so garbage. Now me, listen to the podcast, Tyrone. Y'all all know me. I can talk. I can run this mouth of mine, right? This episode is now at 44 minutes and 28 seconds, and I'm done. Eli is so garbage that I can't even muster a whole hour of conversation about this thing. I have to cut this episode short because I have nothing else to say about Eli. He has done nothing else to say. Should I start talking about his looks? Eli's a handsome gentleman. You want me to say that? Okay, let's start talking about his looks. Eli's a handsome gentleman. Looks like he's got a nice family. You know, That's what I'm saying. See, somebody said Drew Brees is better than Eli Manning. Okay, what? I don't think that's a comparison. I think that's a fact. Drew Brees is better than Eli Manning. Brees should have more Super Bowls than him. Yeah. Everybody should have more Super Bowls than him. Dan Marino, John Elway, his brother. All of them should have more Super Bowls than Eli Manning, in my opinion, but they didn't have good defenses. His brother Peyton Manning was on a team in the Indianapolis Colts that said, "Hey, Peyton, you just do it by yourself. You and Marvin Harrison have to do it alone." They never had a good defense. They never had a good defense. How many playoff games did Peyton Manning lose scoring 35 points and watching his team cough it up in the fourth quarter while he's sitting on the bench about to cry? You know what I mean? And the only thing Eli might be more handsome than Peyton. Peyton's got a long head. You know what I mean? He's got a long head. I don't know. That's his head is weird. It just is. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, so like I said, Eli is definitely the other one. And if for people who saw Archie play, because I never saw Archie play, but for people who saw Archie play, Eli might be the other one. You know what I mean? We don't know. Eli can't even get top ranking in his own family. You think he's going to get top ranking in the whole NFL? Nope. And he's going to continue to drop down because I'm pretty sure Lamar Jackson's going to get a Super Bowl one day. Pretty sure Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, those dudes are going to win the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford already won one. I think that puts him above Eli. So Eli is going to only go down. He can't. He's out. He can't bring his stock up. And these guys is coming up. Patrick Mahomes has already surpassed him. Josh Allen, in my book, is better than Eli already. Kirk Cousins is better than Eli Manning. And nobody checking for Kirk Cousins. Russell Wilson is better than Eli Manning, and there ain't nobody checking for Russell Wilson. Well, actually, the Falcons is checking for Kirk Cousins. Y'all see that? $180 million for Kirk Cousins? But I ain't going to talk about that. I ain't going to get on Kirk Cousins because I could do a whole podcast on Kirk Cousins because he played for Washington. And see this? This is how much of a Commanders fan I am. Okay? This is how much of a Commanders fan I am. I had the belt upside down. This is how much of a Commanders fan I am. So I got beef with Kirk. I got beef with Mr. Cousins for real. But was we gonna pay him $180 million? Hell to the no, no. Okay, but that's it. So that's all I'm saying is that Eli Manning is not that dude. All of y'all have delusions of grandeur, and anybody who wants to combat me, you can send in your qualifications. You can apply. You can send in your quarterbacks and your issues, and we'll see. And then, here's my brother again. Look at Kirk Cousins' stats. Kirk Cousins only has one playoff win. Yeah, Kirk Cousins only has one playoff win, but Kirk Cousins statistically has better stats seasonal than Eli Manning. And Kirk Cousins, when I watch him play, plays better than Eli Manning. Throws a better ball, has better stats, is more consistent, everything. He's better than Eli, as far as I'm concerned. You can have your opinions on that, but Kirk Cousins is not a legit argument against Eli Manning. He was just a name that I thought that I could throw out there to piss some folks off, and it works. And then Tyler Cromartie says, I'm a Falcons fan, and I wouldn't have gave him $45 million a year coming off that type of injury and one playoff win. That's right. And here's Joe Go. Joe, here's my brother again. Joe, stats doesn't win games. No, stats doesn't win games. That's the same thing I can say about Eli. That's the same thing I can say about Eli. Eli stats doesn't win games for him neither. You know what wins games for Eli? Defense. Does he play defense? Hell to the no. But Joe, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting Eli. Hey, aren't you an Eagles fan? Look at this Eagles fan on my podcast supporting Eli Manning. That's wow. That's real wow. But defense wins championships, Joseph, and that's what won championships for Mr. Eli. Because without that Giants defense, I wouldn't even be doing this episode because I wouldn't even have to prove it. So there you go. And so for all you people that were watching and all you people in the comments, thanks a lot. I appreciate you. All you people that's going to listen to this back, I appreciate you too. And like I said, you can find the Lisper on TikTok. You can find this Lisper podcast on the YouTube. You can find Lisper podcast live on Facebook. You know what I mean? And if you know me, You can hit the jack up. You can comment. You can do whatever you want. You can get at your boy. And I'm always available at any time. And if anybody wants to smoke, DM me, write me, fly a kite, let me know. And I will bring you on. Like, this is the equal opportunity podcast for anyone who thinks that they can challenge your boy. But just remember before you come here, just remember one thing. I tell everybody every week, y'all see this. The champ is here. The champ is here. So if you come, you better come correct, because there will be disrespect. That's all I'm going to say. And with that note, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching.